identifying the narrative of Joseph with events either prior to or during the Hyksos rule, such as the detail that the Egyptians abhorred Joseph's people, shepherds, general 46 hours 31 minutes, and numerous anachronisms. 205. Manfred Biotarch suggests that the story fits better with the ambience of the later 20th dynasty of Egypt, in particular with the xenophobic policy of Pharaoh Setlakt, 1189-1186 BC. 206, and Donald Redford argues that to read the Joseph story as history is quite wrong-headed. 207, while Megan Bishop Moore and Brad E. Kell note the lack of any extra-biblical evidence for the events of Genesis, including the Joseph story, or Exodus. 208, a number of scholars do not believe that the Exodus has any historical basis at all, while fundamentalists accept the entire biblical account unless it can be absolutely disproved. 209. The current consensus among archaeologists is that, if an Israelite exodus from Egypt occurred, it must have happened instead in the 19th dynasty of Egypt, 13th century BC, given the first appearance of a distinctive Israelite culture in the archaeological record. 210. The potential connection of the Hyksos to the Exodus is no longer a central focus of scholarly study of the Hyksos, 46, but this supposed connection to the Exodus has continued to inspire popular interest. 53. Legacy. 4 foreign chieftains from Tomb TT 39, Metropolitan Museum of Art Met DT 10871. CA 1479-1458 BC Egyptian relief depicting a battle against West Asiatics. Reign of Amenhotep II, 18th dynasty c. 1427-1400 BC. The Hyksos rule continued to be condemned by New Kingdom pharaohs such as Hatshepsut, who, 80 years after their defeat, claimed to rebuild many shrines and temples which they had neglected. 161. Ramses II moved Egypt's capital to the delta, building Pyrameses on the site of Avaris, 211, where he set up Isla marking the 400th anniversary of the cult of Set. Scholars used to suggest that this marked 400 years since the Hyksos had established their rule. However, the lists of Ramesses' ancestors continued to omit Hyksos, and there is no evidence that they were honored during his reign. 212. The Turin King list, which includes the Hyksos and all other disputed or disgraced former rulers of Egypt, appears to date from the reign of Ramesses or of his successors. 213. The Hyksos are marked as foreign kings via a throw-stick determinative rather than a divine determinative after their names, and thews of the title SWT rather than the usual royal title. 214. Kinra hold no test that these measures are unique to the Hyksos rulers and may therefore have been a direct result of what seems to have been deliberate attempt to obliterate the memory of their kingship after their defeat. 215. Egyptian presence in the Levant. It is often accepted that Egypt established an empire in Canaan at the end of years against the Hyksos. 216. Campaigns against locations in Canaan and Syria area conducted by Ahmose I and Thutmose I at the beginning of the 18th dynasty, as recorded in the tombs of Ahmose, son of Ebenah and Ahmose Pen-Nekhebet. Thutmose I is also mentioned as shaving hunted elephants in Syria in inscriptions at the temple of Hatshepsut at Deir el-Bahari. 217. Thutmose III is known to have campaigned widely, conquering the Shasu Bedouins of northern Canaan, and the land of Retinue, as far as Syria and Mitni in numerous military campaigns circa 1450 BC. 218. 219. However, Felix Hofmeyer argues that there is little evidence of other campaigns and that there is no evidence that would suggest such a scenario as an Egyptian empire during the 18th dynasty. 220. As regards claims that the campaigns in the Near East were spurred on by Hyksos' rule, Thomas Schneider argues that the empire building started with a delay of 2 generations, and seeing a direct nexus may be as much a historical fallacy as it would be to link the fall of the Soviet Union in 1989 to the end of Second World War in 1945, 2 generations earlier. 221. Retinue Syrians bringing tribute to Thutmose III, in the tomb of Rekhmira, c. 1450 BC, actual painting and interpretive drawing. They are labeled chiefs of retinue. 222, 223, later accounts. A relief of Ramses II from Memphis showing him capturing enemies, a Nubian, a Libyan and a Syrian, c. 1250 BC. Cairo Museum. 224. The 19th dynasty story. The quarrel of Apophis and Seqenenre claimed that the Hyksos worshipped no god but Set, making the conflict into one between Ra, the patron of the bees, and Set as patron of avarice. 225. Furthermore, the battle with the Hyksos was interpreted in light of the mythical battle between the gods Horus and Set, transforming Set into an Asiatic deity while also allowing for the integration of Asiatics into Egyptian society. 226. Manetho's portrayal of the Hyksos. Written nearly 1,300 years after the end of Hyksos' rule and found in Josephus, is even more negative than the New Kingdom sources. 161. This account portrayed the Hyksos as violent conquerors and oppressors of Egypt has been highly influential for perceptions of the Hyksos until modern times. 227. Mark van der Moop argues that Josephus' portrayal of the initial Hyksos invasion is no more trustworthy than his later claims that they were related to the Exodus, supposedly portrayed in Manetho, as performed by a band of lepers. 228. Early modern depictions. The discovery of the Hyksos in the 19th century, and their study following the decipherment of ancient Egyptian scripts led to various theories about their history, origin, ethnicity and appearance, often illustrated with picturesque and imaginative details. Hyksos invasion as imagined in the 19th century by Hermann Vogel, 19th century. Hyksos invasion as imagined in the 19th century by Hermann Vogel, 19th century. The expulsion of the Hyksos, 1906. The expulsion of the Hyksos, 1906. See also. Icon. Asia Portal Mitanni. Kassites. Sea Peoples. Philistines. Mary Ann U. Sino-Babylonianism later theories. Anra Scarab, artifact. Notes. Approximate date.
Yes, let's stop. I'm way too sleepy to read this. Yes, I did not understand much of this, but I did like to read it, and now I did it, and I cannot remember anything at all. I think I will cook some hot foods. I'm a bit sleepy today, but I'm sleepy every day. I not remember anything of this. There's too many names and years. But there's something I did like to read.